No sword in my hands, just a will that won't break. I've seen modest terror tremble, felt every quake. Sam carried Frodo when he couldn't go on. Now I carry that heart even when hope is gone. Then came Gandalf's staff, lit the sky. Even the darkest times still let light fly. From Isengard's fall to Helm's Deep's last stand, I rise with the brave, not just sword in hand. Don't fight for crowns, I don't kneel to fate. I stand like Eo and I won't hesitate. Aragorn's cry, Theoden's charge in the fray. I'm the flame in the dusk of the break of day. I don't fight for crowns, I don't kneel to fate. I stand like Eo and I won't hesitate. Aragorn's cry, Theoden's charge in the fray. I'm the flame in the dusk, the break of day. Fellow of the rings, I give it all. From Moria's dark to Mount Doom's fall. Fellow, beyond the pain, we fight till it's over, we rise again. From ashes we rise, we answer the call. We stand for the light, we are one for all. Born with the fire like smog in the air, but I learned from Boromir, beware despair. Power corrupts, the ring's heavy price. Gollum fell chasing it twice. I saw Denethor fall, blinded by fear, while Faramir stood, silent but clear. Galadriel's grace, but a fire inside. She passed on the test, while others just lied. I'm not just a fighter, I'm light through the shade. Like Legolas swift, and Gimli unafraid. From Rivendell's peace to the Black Gate's cry, I rise like the eagles, I will not die. Fellow, we give it all. From the Shire to Shadow, we heed the call. Fellow, beyond the flame, with hearts unbroken, we rise again. Through trolls and breaks, we rise through the fall. We stand for the weak, we are one for all. Fellow, through fire and stone, from ends that march to thrones overthrown. Fellow, no fear remains, even Sauron's shadow breaks at our name. We carry the ring, we answer the call. We stand as the light, we are one for all. I am here with the fellow of the rings.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today is Tuesday. Welcome to our mega server daily, semi-daily. Missed out on a couple of days, and we're trying to be consistent on the daily part. Live stream covering the mega server. I'm your boy. How is Mega Farmville? What's up, Eduardo? Let me fix this really quick. We got Turgon in the house. How you doing, Lexi? Thanatos. We got Nick Rush. We got Mark. I'm gonna. Jeez. Jochwit. I'm sorry, man. You're gonna have to help me pronounce that. Pronounce your name. Horrible pronouncing names. Doing my best here. And we got Lawrence. How you guys doing? Yes, Thanatos. There is the public voice chat that you can join. No, go to the public one, because not everybody has access to that one. Come on, man. See any DMs here? Yeah, no DMs that we need to look at right now. Yo, what's up? Finally, we got the Doom-forged maces. I'm gonna have to roll on this one later. Gotta give me some what gear we're gonna give up. Kind of excited to refine this one later. Man, it's so hard. Freaking go a mithril for relics is such a hard commodity. 17 relics. Is that what it is? Let's have a look. 17 excess relics. 21 actually. Vader. Ghost. Whoa, Ghost. Ghost changed his name. I think it's 21. 21 relics. Ooh. Who wants my water here, man? Yeah, I noticed you changed your name. Figured I'd change my YouTube name to my rice word. There you go, man. I think that's cool. I think you guys should do that, by the way. If you have, put your in-game name on your YouTube. It makes it easier for me to follow along with you guys. The thing that sucks about this is that Mithril for refines is really, really hard to come by. So I think I'm gonna have to start streaming earlier because usually have like 50 people. Oh, no, we got a good group coming. Now the funny thing is, we are still shady. That means do not cuss. All right. Since yesterday, guys, we still farming crazy. We are in 4th place, as you guys saw from the thumbnails. Shady doing shady things, and on Panda side, nothing has changed. We're still, down here. We are still bound by season 6, chapter 6. We still have 2 days and 10 hours. Holy moly. Until we can officially do something. All the passes that we have are all, under the chapter 6 blockage. So that one we can go through, but there's no PvP here. Right here, nothing here. Nothing over here, and nothing over. So we're blocked in unless we start hitting these guys. Correct? Yes. And I'll hop in just a second to the voice chat. Unless we start using flyers to hit these guys, anything in the middle is still Gale region. So you can march to certain areas, but you can't take the tiles, correct? Gale area. So because of that, the only places you can actually take it would be Brownlands with flyers and these regions here. And the capital, actually, we can go fight in these with flyers if we, people want. What's up, Helm? How you doing? Welcome to today's live stream. A day and 10. Okay, so yes, we're still at that. Sadly, there's not a whole lot to do, so I think we can close the stream, call it a night, and save ourselves. I'm just kidding. We're gonna continuing farming, and I'm gonna show you guys what I've been doing. Let me hop on the voice chat here, because there's a reason why we're hopping onto the voice chat. Let's see. Not this one, Thanatos. This one. Actually, let me leave this one. It's this one, Thanatos. Here, in the public one. Public voice. Yes, there you go. Yeah. Oh man, I'm still farming. We can barely hear you, I think. Let's see. Let me look at OBS here. I might have to turn you up. Give me just a sec. There you go. Turn you down here. Can you guys hear him okay? Let's say hi really quick, Thanatos. Oh, never mind. Here. Wait. Go again.
Hello, everyone.
You guys can hear him okay? Let me pull up the images. Sweet. What's up, Hurricane? I'm going to save some images here really quick. And I want to show you guys something. It's quite funny. I was going to... copy link. Open it on this one over here. No, not on this one. On this one right here. Yep. Hold up.
Is it really what I think it is?
Yeah,
You gonna spice it up?
yes, but I mean, look, it's just pointing out. I told I was gonna get everybody, clean and open exposure to the server. So I think this is one of those things that I think is worth it for people just to see. I think I found it funny, but at the same time, I do feel that it could be a bit misleading. So, and I personally don't like that kind of stuff. So I asked leadership if it's okay to share, and they said it was. So hopefully I'm not sharing anything that I'm not. No, you got Martis here, so it's all good. Copy link. There's 4 images I'm going to show you guys really quick here. And so, where we are at. Can you see the merit rankings? Yes. Here, I'll show you. Give you guys an overview, daily overview of the situation in terms of resources. See, funny enough, for the first few days of the server, there was one player that was mostly at the top in production, affluence, and that was Raven. And that's going to happen to everybody. I guess, Order and Lame and us have that cushion for now because we're not fighting anyone. So you see everybody in Toby, Merc, Step, Merc, Toby, and Gods. Jeez, what the heck? All those 4 teams, they all dropped a little bit in rankings. That's because they have to drop tiles, in order to PvP. It's gonna happen to everybody. So I'm in 4th place right now at 42.7k. Follow, behind the Beast, Kitten, and Ice Grim. Coincidentally, 4 players that are not PvPing right now. Merit-wise, you got Raven at 354,000, and Toby followed by Bone Crusher, Liverboo and Gods, and then the Bow Crusher again in 4th place. 5th, you got Scout. 6th, Myth Love. Myth Love is always very active in PvP. Arthas, Zolu, Halgorn, and Ricky Spanish. It's so crazy seeing this guy so high up in merit. It's pretty cool. Now, the crazy thing, and this is what I just looked at just barely, and it was somewhat concerning. You got Raven at level 44 already.
Jeez.
Yeah. That's very high. When we get to fight these guys, we might be, level 40, 41, so they're already at 46, 47. That is going to make a difference. Pretty big difference fighting these guys.
I mean, I think we'll fight Airborne. I think both want to fight Airborne.
I mean, yes, but if anybody wants to try to really get to the middle, you're gonna clash at some point. So it's gonna be rough. What's up, Kaylin? I expected better from you, man. It's been rough. We got too many farmers here. But all right, let's see. I thought a couple more people were gonna join the voice chat. At least that's what Venna had told me. But it is what it is. If they join, they can join later. But I think we should be good. Let's pull up the screen here.
Did they send you any reports in the group that you created?
Yeah, there's a lot of reports. We can check that in just a little bit. There's a lot of reports here. And more people are joining daily. So you got Alexander the Great now. So we got 38 people willing to share. 4th is big in a server like this. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Kaylin, it is. It's hard. Definitely. It was extremely hard to get to this level. It took a lot of planning, a lot of, micromanaging and planning. So, yeah. So something happened earlier today. Let's pull it. Where's the images? That's not this one. Here. All right. Yep. But that's not the first one that I want to show. This is the first one. Let's make sure the screen size is okay. All right, guys. Can you guys see this on the screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Cool. So, as if you look at this text here, you might think, oh, there's what's so much, what's this? Mole is a fellowship. Let's pull this up here. So Mole is a fellowship, not part of Panda. It's not in Gondor. Let's see where Mole is. Where is Mole? So Mole is in Arnor, called Spy Club, led by an account named Alan1. Okay, hidden information. We don't know who they are. But there's this guy where his name is Grizzly Kids. As you guys know, anybody that has the word kids at the end is part of the kids clan. As you can see, fellow of the kids, that's why you have the kids at the end. You know, you got Thanatos kids, you got Trash kids. These are all players that play in Panda. You know, okay, part of a single little group inside within Panda. Now, this guy in Arnor in the fellowship called Mole. Do you know what he did this morning, Thanatos?
No, what?
No. I think there was some comments in World Chat about either this account betraying. I mean, I could be wrong here. I don't know if I was reading about that or I was speculating what this account could do. But there was some comments about this Grizzly, this Grizzly player being a spy account from Panda. Okay, so I have a couple more images. So he says, "We see everything. You can't run away. We are kids. Panda is an adventure. We could be everywhere." And then Mr. Green Algo said, "It's Panda." And to be honest, guys, I bet 10 minutes it's Warpath from Step. If anybody from Panda or kids are gonna put alts in the mega server, why would they name it themselves so people know? The sad thing about this is that dealing with the community and play. I don't play many games. This is basically the only game I play. My experience has been they're very easy to convince of things when they're negative, and very hard to convince the opposite, when something is good. So many people saw this account in World Chat, and the first thing that a lot of them said, Panda is, putting alts in competing factions. They broke the deal. Isn't that kind of obvious that any player could do that? I could have an alt in every single faction this server and put the name, I'm Fan of Law or Yerte's brother, or anything, Thanatos' cousin, anything. And people are like, oh, look, they're, fellow is putting alts everywhere. Right? And there's a couple more images to show. Not that it's a big deal, but I feel like I promise to give full exposure, so that's what I want to do. The other thing is this is the other image. Go ahead. Oh, what's up, Atriox? How you doing, man?
Good, man. I was just chilling and seeing you.
Sounds good. So let's see here. There's this screenshot that I was sent. So this is Noxy from Gods. Hey Mard, who is Grizzly Kids? And then Mard's like, what? Where is the rest of the image? Right? Is that a porn star or something? No alt in our region. Can you guys see at the bottom there? Yep. And then the next image is just, this keeps going. Wonder if it's related to the kids you guys have. No idea. Is it causing issues? Bit of, crap talk in faction chat. Kids are famous, so it could be an impersonator, but I'll check to be sure which faction Arnor. I check. Thank you. I'll be logging off now. All right. So nothing really, just a conversation, clear conversation that people asking, is this an alt? Although it's a valid point, it would be very easy to mislead people to think that, that kids or anybody in any other factions intentionally put alts to ruin people's experience. So I know for sure, at least from what everybody has told me within Panda, this is not an account that any player is using. But anybody could do that. Anybody, anybody could say change their name within the first 5 days so they can give people problems and then find reasons. And this is why I think it's so important to expose this. Anybody can say, Panda is putting alts in Arnor, so let's teach them a lesson, and then destroy the whole balance of the server, which is what everybody's trying to do, so everybody can have fun. So there you have it, guys. Make it of that what you may, but I do think it's a bit silly.
I mean, I can tell you, fellow, that kids, well, we have 8 accounts at the moment. The clan is 8 accounts, managed by 6 people. So, again, we do not have time to run alts. We mostly use each other accounts to help each other most of the time. So, I mean, none of the guys run alt accounts. I mean, and as you said, we would not be stupid to run an alt account with the kids tag.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean,
I guess it's I think this is just, it's someone steering the pot and trying to do, as you said, Hierte's son or Thanatos' cousin, or I don't know, Chenko's stepbrother, I don't know, whatever.
yeah. Anything that would identify, anything that would identify a rival faction, right? Anything like that. Yeah. So, it's like I said, take it as you may. Create, any kind of narrative you want. Everybody, like I said, I think I said this to somebody sometime this week. Thinking is free, so do with it as you please. I just promise to give full exposure of things that I know. So if this wasn't Panda, if this was something that was creative, against somebody else, I would have done the same thing. So
There is always someone that is trying to steer the pot in this damn game. I'm always seeing it every season.
who is that?
Well, there is not a certain person though,
Is it a group then?
but there are people.
Are you saying there's a group that's always trying to steer the pot?
Well, many groups did try to steer the pot in many seasons though, but I have a lot of experience with people that try to steer the pot though, because I was a clan leader for 10 seasons or more.
Are you still playing?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm in a break for now.
Planning on coming back?
Well, maybe I will have a comeback next season though.
Sounds good. Hopefully you do, man.
Yeah, I've been talking with a few clans though in the game, because some people really miss me, you included, from what I see. But yeah, I'm not yet decided where to go yet.
All right. Well, let us know. Warpath, check your DMs. Where are my DMs?
It's Discord DM. It's gonna be a virus. Watch out.
Oh.
It's Warpath.
Oh, you must be the leader of Kids Clan. Okay, nice to meet
No,
you.
I'm the general manager.
Oh, okay. Now the game has general managers. Interesting.
Yes. The owner is a separate person. I manage all the crazy people inside.
By the
I
way,
see you're the guy with HR.
By the way, yeah, a Warpath. I know it's not you. I mean, the reason why I know, I don't know. I just have a hunch it's not you. And again, I'm not trying to find who is doing it. It's just, if somebody else, like I said, if somebody said Warpath's alt account, it would be kind of obvious, to me at least, that somebody's trying to get people to start arguing, pointing fingers and stuff. So it was pretty obvious to me that somebody's trying to do that, which is cool. It's every server is gonna have its Grima, or else all servers. Imagine if all servers was all Galadriels, if all we had was Galad. Everybody trying to play nice to each other. Although that would be nice, but that's not real life, and it's also not why we love, for example, the story in Lord of the Rings. There's, you got your Grimas, you get your Golems, everything. Every character plays its part, and so it's cool to have this. I just hope that people are just wise enough to know that it's kind of an obvious thing for somebody to do something like that. So no worry, Warpath. I got you, man.
Yeah, man, all is good.
Yeah. So I mean, like, for example, yeah, Thanos has brought up an interesting point. Why? I understand that it could be a tactic for people to do, but why people report other people just so they can't communicate in game? Like that's, to me, that's so low, such a low strategy to mute people, basically lying about what people say in game, saying people are, are harassing somebody, mass reporting just so support automatically mutes people for a week or two, whatever. Like, why are you guys doing this? This is the kind of things that I really don't understand, why people feel the need to do it. If everybody agreed to play a mega server, I think I'm hearing a feedback from one of you guys. Is it you, Thanatos?
It's probably me. Yeah, I'll mute myself.
All right, cool. It's then warp. Give me a second here. Just to be clear, I did not say that it was Warpath at any point. Just to make that clear, Warpath. I didn't say it's you, man. Come on.
But I can say it.
No, don't. It's not him. All right.
Oh my God.
I don't know why people do things like this. Like, why mute? If everybody agreed to play in the server, like, why are we mass muting people? It's I don't think it's a cool tactic, although you can do it. I don't think it's cool. I mean, basically we're lying, first of all. We're lying saying somebody's doing something racist or harassment or something like that, which is not true. But then the same people that are this is the funny cycle we go through, right? The people mass report, but then they also want to talk about people deceiving somebody else, right? The same person that's deceiving people are pointing fingers saying others are deceitful. It's just a vicious cycle of liars and haters and all these things, which is sad, honestly. So I'm just talking for myself here. I'm not, talking on behalf of anybody, because I'm not leading anybody right now. So it's just weird, honestly.
Yeah, the
Crazy.
sad thing is maybe Dixon that got muted for basically nothing. I think he got a week ban. And again, I understand that there are how many? 8 big groups. So it's 800 people minimum. And obviously you will have 1 out of 100 will be a hothead that will just spam the mass report.
Yeah.
And obviously this system is automatic, so after a number of reports you get blocked. So again, it's not fun again, but how can you control those 8 hotheads? I mean, everyone has hotheads. Step has them, Panda has them, I'm sure Toby has them, Bear has them, everyone has them. So again,
Yeah.
until this is automatic, blocking people and banning people from texting,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's useless. I mean, it would be more useful, in my opinion, if they block people from talking in world chat, but they can still talk in fellowship or faction chat.
Yeah, that's true. That's yeah. I do find it funny, Moscow, though, that you can never. It seems like you can never separate individuals from teams. I do find very funny. So I think the best thing is really for people only to report when actually something is done. Because when somebody is harassing somebody or doing something like that, and yes, that's why you report people. They can stop, that they get a timeout for what they're doing. But if you're using that just as a tactic to have an edge over somebody else, then that's a bit whack, honestly.
I mean, I've been harassed quite a lot of times, and I can name at least 30 people from the game who harass me for a lot of times. So
Yeah.
yeah, I can feel it.
Yeah, I usually just ignore. You also have the block button, so you don't get any messages from that person anymore. It's like there's so many things you can do. But then again, I think most of the times people report as a strategy nowadays for punishing somebody, not because something was actually done. That's my feeling.
There's actually a guy on Panda that looks at world chat and nicknames all the people that doesn't want to listen to, doesn't block them, and just adds the nickname "don't talk to" all of them.
Yeah. All right, you guys want to look
Yeah,
at some reports? Go ahead.
No, they also did this to me when I was a clan leader back in the days. They mass reported me, some people, because they didn't want me to communicate with my members on the game chat in Bagan. So they reported me for a couple of days. And they did that to me as well when we had a huge server fight between my clan and the other clans.
Sub Angus. No, I get it, man. I mean, luckily, now that I mention, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody, people report me, just because I'm luckily I haven't yet been muted in the game. I tend to stay quite quiet. I don't talk in world chat much. Usually when somebody says something that I feel is not true, I usually speak up. Usually, but I feel the desire to do that less and less. But usually I'm pretty quiet. Just you either you can easily consumed in world chat conversation. You can be there hours discussing and debate. Usually it's not discussing. Usually it's debating stuff. And so
Oh yeah, I'm very careful with world chat, especially when I was a clan leader. I was really careful with it for a long time. Because sometimes I get really explosive when some people say a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I cannot blame you guys because I understand how you feel. I've been playing the game for more than 1,000 days, though.
Yeah, very long time, isn't it?
I have a question, fellow.
What's up, my man? Go ahead.
How many people have changed Undying? Let's say, let me rephrase, sorry. How many people have changed Gandalf the White with Undying in your reports, in your early reports?
Not many. What I'm seeing is people replacing Sauron for Undying. Let's have a look at some reports here. Okay. Now, of course, not everybody, but I still see Gandalf the White still being the majority still. I think it's gonna be dependent. On tests, honestly, because like I said yesterday, if you're fighting somebody that has Shadow and Saruman at the same time, Undying's evasion is not as effective, and because it goes away within the first, halfway through the first round, I would say. So I think people, like I just said yesterday, I think you can potentially swap. It just depends on your build. The cool thing about Undying and having early round burst damage is that you can destroy White Council very early on, and then by rounds 3, 4, 5, you're gonna dish out a lot of damage, which will in a way equate to White Council. But if you don't have early round damage, or you can't clear the other guys' White Council fast enough for the likes of Dane, or it's not Dane, for the likes of Bjorn to be a bit nerfed in the damage, in the damage, then you run the risk of not doing enough damage on the enemy. So there's Eduardo, have a good night, brother. I appreciate you staying up so late. See you tomorrow. I'm gonna try to stream a little bit earlier tomorrow, so hopefully that works out. But yes, but some people have been.
That would be a good thing.
Yes, yeah, I'm gonna try to stream around like 8 o'clock UTC tomorrow, so everybody can. I know a lot of people that do watch with me or participate are from the EU or this side of the world. So
Yeah, I am also from the EU. I was gonna say thank you for having me, and enjoy your night, man.
all right,
Yeah.
Aatrox, hopefully to see you back in the game soon, man.
Yeah, hopefully everything goes well with the clans which are trying to get me back.
There you go. So the highest bidder, right? The highest bidder gets you.
Yeah, maybe Thanatos is also gonna bid for me. Who knows? It depends.
I'll have a look at Ildarian's report in just a second here. So but to answer your question, Thanatos, I don't think a lot of people have yet swapped over. As you can see, a lot of people are still running Gandalf the White. But he could be Undyne could be a great replacement, yeah.
I think because obviously they have invested until today into Gandalf the White, I don't think it's wise to burn all your investment. But as you can see there, someone replaced the Sauron with Undyne. Yeah.
Like I said, yeah. Yep.
It's the guy that uses Undying with DD with damage command.
Yep. This is the crazy thing. It's having him 2 damage skills sounds like it would be such a good, asset to have as a damage dealer. It's just this is kind of like the case with King of Man and Thorn. They have damage dealing skills, but then other skills rely. I mean, I guess if you don't go for the healing, that could be a good way. Look, you can definitely do this. You can run somebody else as your tank, because Undying doesn't necessarily have anything for himself to be served as a tank. So personally, I'm not against running this. And I was thinking of this last night. I might test Undying as a damage dealer if I don't care about his healing. Because think with me here. What use does Undying have as a tank if you're not if you don't have any tanking skills? He's kind of like Sauron. Sauron doesn't necessarily have any tanking skills. So he's good because of the gear you give him. It's different for the likes of, Frodo or even Galadriel. I'll use these two as examples because they have skills that actually support them as tanks. I was thinking of Undyne as a damage dealer yesterday, the day before. And I still think you can work depending on who you put as your damage dealer. I could see, let me give you an example. A build that I was thinking would be basically swapping Undying for Sauron. If you're not running Sauron as a troop damage commander, which I'm starting to see a lot more people doing, is running high damage, high command, and high attack on Snagas, for example, and then doing 60,000-70,000 damage, which is pretty good. I would try the opposite. I'd give Sauron the tank gear and then give him as much damage as possible. But the build that I like to see would be Sauron as my tank, potentially Sauron as my tank, Shadow, Saruman, and Undying, all doing damage. Think about this. These are 3 commanders that just completely obliterates White Council. And I probably will be testing something like this later in the season. Now, I probably still do, the damage, weapons, and then defense in command. But I can still see Undying being a good resource of damage even at R10, because he's not going to be your primary damage dealer. But he gets the evasion and pretty decent damage from these two skills. So I might give it a try. I understand his idea. I'm just not sure.
Not great damage.
Yeah, but that's my idea in this case is not to look when you have 3 damage dealers. There's just so much of the pie that any commander can do, right? So let's say a formation has 350,000 HP. You're gonna divide that 3/3. Let's say your tank does about 20,000. Let's say you got a good tank that does about 20,000 damage. So you're dividing the rest of that 330,000 between 3 damage dealers. So you might get Saruman doing 160, and then you're dividing the other, like what, 140 between Undying and Shadow. So you might get Shadow doing 70 and then Undying doing 60. You see Shadow doing 100 and then Undying doing 30. But the idea here is not to have them do crazy amounts of damage. My idea is, one, if one of them fail, the other can pick it up. That's one of my theories, right? One of them fails, the other picks it up. If Shadow is stunned, Undying is going to remove the instance of White Council because he's not stunned. The other thing is, my idea is to just shred as much damage early as I can. If I'm able to, destroy an enemy by round 4, that means I lose less troops. That means I can go another round potentially let's say I obliterate the first army. I might lose the second one, but I might get closer to beating it because of that early burst White Council destroying team that I have. That's my theory. I'll test it out, and you guys can watch with me to see what happens. But I do think it can potentially work.
But at that point, why not run better burst damage commanders such as Scalhelm or Shadow or Saruman altogether? In
my case, I don't have Scalhelm high respect, so I wouldn't do that one. But like you said, this one I gotta study to see why in this case that didn't work out, because just like my theory now, he has 3 early burst commanders and it didn't work. We have to see, is it because they were all stunned? Was it the madness? Was it the evasion from Gil? I don't know. I have to look into this a little bit more. So it might not work at all.
Undying has the best relic by far. Now that it's fixed.
It's a great relic, I mean, it's very RNG, on who it hits, but it's a very good relic nonetheless.
I missed the siege. I was here talking with you.
Oh, I know. Ooh, sorry guys. Don't kick me, please. Oh man, finally got Shadow's relic. Now I need to strengthen it. Lord Farquaad from the old Pirates. He was a Shadow lover. He made that thing work. This is the kind of people we need to, not necessarily him as a player, but the kind of passion we need to have for commanders. This guy was a firm believer in Shadow. 1.0 Shadow doing well, and he made him work extremely well. And then 2.0 came.
I mean, he works in 2.0.
No. What I'm saying is, now he's become meta. He wasn't meta back then. He was, he was sub-lerts for Evo back in 1.0. For most people, he wasn't, crazy good. He was decent, but not crazy good. But he made it. I mean, that guy made it work really well. The map is getting taken. I believe everybody's rushing to take these keeps because in 2 days, 2.5 days, the PvP starts for everybody. There will be no safe areas anymore. And then we'll see. What's what? Let's see here. We got comment from Give me a second. Dynamite looking battle report on the Panda Discord. I swapped my Gandalf the white gear to Sauron and then put my Sauron gear to Undyne. It's been doing great. I'll check that in just a second. I see you got some new faces here. Angus, my boy Angus, I hope you're doing good, my friend. Hope you're getting to your goal in merit for the season. Shane Panda Mass Spam knew me from small every day on every account she played.
But as you say, if you want to run Undying as a damage dealer, why not run Sauron? Has better skills.
Sorry, go ahead.
Damage.
Well, oh,
That-
if you're gonna run Undyne as damage, why not? Why doesn't
Why
he
not
have?
run Sauron?
I mean, that's
Why not run Sauron?
you can
He
you
has
can
better damage skills.
you he Sauron as a damage dealer. I don't think will ever. I mean, unless he's extremely high zenith, I don't think he'll ever do much damage. Personally, I don't think he will. I don't remember the last time I saw a focus damage Sauron doing 60,000 commander damage. So, love to see it, but I don't think it will. Because then again, in this case, like you said, Thanatos, you're gonna give up. If you're not Zenith, or let's see, if you're not, if you're not Zenith 20, you're gonna miss out on these two, and those are the key skills you want. If you do 10, 10. If you're R10, then you're gonna have to choose between this, or do 5 and 5, which then it's not that great, Undyne, on the other hand,
Enemy? You can skip the enemy.
it's still, yes, but I like it. I think it's still quite a good skill to use. So, Undyne, you're losing less. Undyne basically, let's be honest, his amazing skill in the current meta really is Undead Commander. The healing is nice. I've seen some people doing 30 to 38,000 healing on Undying, which is great. But yeah, I'll try this damage build. I could be wrong. It's a theory. It's a theory they could swap, because the reason why I'm saying this is he doesn't have tanking skills. And so we can potentially run. The cool thing about not running him as a tank, even if you're not running him, or what I like about running him as with unit defense and damage reduction, even if he's not your tank, is just because he survives. If you're gonna do 30,000 damage with Undying, like we saw the report here just now. Let's see. Let's go back to the report. Was it this one? No. It's from, I'll see. It's fine. Here we go. It's doing 34,000 damage. If that's the damage you're going to do as a damage, then it's a waste. What I prefer to do, if you're not going to run him as your main tank, then give him troop defense. You're going to want troop defense, because doing 34,000 damage is pretty horrible for a damage dealer. So I'm going to have to study this a little bit and test it out. That is the idea with people sharing their reports as well, because it allows, look at this. 5, 6 anomalies on Undying.
Rough.
And the rough thing about running triple damage as well, and that's the case, you're going to have to decide your poison, pick your poison here, is the more damage dealers you have, the more chances of not doing damage, But then again, having triple divides the damage between all three. Something I'm going to have to test.
I've seen a report the other day of Thorin hitting 200k troop damage. It was interesting with Isengard T4.
Oh no, with Snagus, you can do crazy amounts of damage. Let's see, Preshi here. Yeah, you're running, looks good, man. You're running full tank gear, which is great. Got lucky rolls. Oh man, you did. I was trying to get some unit defense as the roll. I was able to get 1 roll on defense. You got 3. That is extremely lucky. See, at this,
Note that there is a theory about this.
yes, I've tested it, and I've have not been getting a whole lot of success with it though. I mean, look at the relic. Look at the gear I use for Undying's relic. Where is it? Probably pass. Here we go. Okay, I got 1, 2, 1, 1. Which, if I'm gonna try him as a damage, is not a bad, because I can. If I get commander attack, I can give him some more unit defense gear, and vice versa. You know, so this is not horrible. But I did a lot of, say, oh, but you're doing a lot of damage, damage gear and stuff. I have. So let me give you an example. I can't remember what example I was looking at. I did. Was it Guajir? I can't remember now. I was looking at a relic the other day, and I used basically the same gear, and I got different stats. I believe I used, like commander weapons. I was using damage weapons, and I was getting troop defense. So, yeah, I'm not sure if that theory holds true. I love it too, because it would make my life a whole lot easier. But I did look. Let's see if I can remember which one it was.
You can try Isildur this season.
Yeah, I will. If I have time to get him ready, I will want to. Was it King of Man? Nope. Somebody that has high unit defense, I believe. Nope. Azog. Let's see him do a lot of unit defense here. Let's
Plus
see.
18. I think it's 3 rolls.
Yeah, but it wasn't this one. Might be him. No, he does attack. Give me a second, guys. I'll find it for you. See, I mean, like here, a lot of unit attack. Basically no defense gear here. Unit defense, at least. I think it was Galadriel. Let's look at hers. A lot of unit attack gear, and got a lot of defense. Got 2 rolls on defense. That's gonna be easier if I actually do this. See, unit defense on Guajir. A lot of damage, a lot of damage weapons and accessories.
Oh yeah.
Damage, and still got command and unit defense. That was one of them. I think there's another one that I did. Can't remember which one. That was a helm. Oh, it might have been helm. Was it helm? Look at that. Quite a few weapons, damage weapons. And still got command and a lot of unit attack. So I'm not sure exactly how it holds true, that theory. Yeah, I think it was this one that I looked at. Sadly. What's up, Logic? I tried my own experiment. How did it go? Okay, so Logic said, let's see. All I got was commander attack on my unrelic. Oof. And I put nothing but chests on him. 25 of them. Jeez. Were you using commander attack? Was it the chest that had a lot of commander attack? But usually commander attack is the least stats on those. On chests, by the way. I think the highest one is this one. So, maybe if you're using this one, but every other one basically is the lowest stat is commander attack. Got fooled. I mean, it worked a couple of times, but then after that, it wasn't doing too well. Let's have a look at Oldarian's report here. Gods versus Steppe. Besides, I'm doing T2. Is there anything wrong with my formation, or is it? Or it was also the stats bad luck. Let's have a look here. I mean, you didn't do bad. You're almost mirror matching here, you know. But let's have a look. I mean, you're using, you're using cavalry, and should have been better maybe. Let's see the number of anomalies first. That's the first thing you want to see. You did way more anomalies to them. Let's see where it landed though. So your anomalies landed mostly on Gandalf the White. Theirs landed on Shadow and Dane. That's good. Let's look at the damage here. I mean, you got a little bit of madness on yourself. I'm not sure. I think you did extremely well, Lodarian. Let's without going into the report so much. You did 292,000 damage. Okay. They did 274. All right. But then you did a bit of, you did about 19,000 of self-nuke, or I mean, the difference between what they did and what you received, right? 241, 260. You did a little bit to yourself. So I have to say you actually did extremely well considering two factors. You're using T2 units with has less HP. And yes, you did counter them. Yeah, but then you're also not running any tank. That way Shadow wiped your White Council like it was nothing. This is the crazy thing about people running Shadows. It forces people running Swanites. If you really want to protect your units, if you don't care, then do whatever. But if you want to protect your units, it forces you to run Swanites, which are extremely expensive. I do think you did quite well, though. R14. Let's look at their size first. R11. Ooh, but this is a bit rough, though. Whew. R2. Z2. Okay. And a R11. Oh, let's see what you look like. R14, R15, R11, and R14. I mean, you do have better gear, but then you're not running any tank, which then hits all your guys at the same time, stripping away your Y count. So the advantage that you have from better gear, more respect, and the counter units might not play to your advantage as much. Let's have. He's not running Bjorn, so let's see what saved him. Rounds 1, you took a little bit more damage. 2, oof, look at that. Jeez. Okay. Round 4. You come back because of your Bjorn, but you also took a little bit of damage there too. Rounds 5, you take another big hit. 6, you do the big hit, most likely from your Dane. And then that kind of equates after a little bit. See, I think you're taking more damage early on because of the lack of White Council by these rounds already. But then after round 4, probably around rounds 3, round 4, when their White counts potentially run out, you guys start to level through. I think you did good considering all those factors. I probably put a tank here if I were you. One thing that I've always told people is I try to play all 3 unit sizes in my formations. That way, let's say if somebody here, let's say Edvalder was running a cavalry, one of my armies here would counter or equal to that. That's how I like it. Also plays. Thanatos, have a great evening, brother. I shall see you in the morning. Where is Noxy? Sweet. I'll post that video soon, Noxy. That way. And one thing, it saves with resources, kind of balance things out. But then I try to play counters as much as possible. So I will usually run a large, a cavalry, a small. So let's say, right, I have my tank. My tank's either going to run Mountain Trolls or Swan Knights, usually one of those two. And then Gandalf the White, I still set him up as a damage dealer, you know, so he can still do 70, 90,000 depending who you're fighting. And then Bjorn and Saruman, for example. So these three would have cavalry, small, and large. One of those in one of the three. It's been pretty successful. Feeling about Lurtz build up like this. Let's have a look. I love Lurtz. I want to see more Lurtz being played. So logic, you use 7 great plates of the east, 15 tracker plates, protection of Numenor, and 1 ranger. So no command, like no full commander attack. Yeah. So maybe there, I could see there could be an actual theory to that, but maybe it needs to be ironed out a little bit more with more testing. But it's hard to test with relics, man. Okay, so let's see their level. Whew. Wow, Z14 King of Man, R10, Z5, and what, a Z4? Oof. Z10 Elmer. Wow, that is one beautiful Elmer. Look at that. Look at this beauty. The cool thing about him, I'm starting to become a big fan of this commander. Although the people that are running him, I haven't seen him do crazy numbers, but he is such a... See, this is where I probably would change. I don't think I run this build here. I don't think I run this. Not on a damage dealing formation like this. I personally wouldn't, because you like with 35 attack. You're not doing any damage here. Let's have a look. See, he did 85,000. So 8,000 damage from knights. I would not run that. What I run is this. Run his bottom R0, man. You're giving yourself a potential of, 30% damage reduction. Why wouldn't you want that? If you're going to run mounted units anyways, why wouldn't you want 30% damage reduction? That's huge. Okay, that's what I do instead. I also changed that to a command helm. Beautiful thing about Elmer is that although he's a damage dealer, he's one of the few that gets command. One of the few. He's got the perfect role here. Commander attack, and unit defense. I'll just be running, boom, this baby right here. That's all. But looking at your stuff, Corleone, I love what you're doing with Lurtz here. Let's see. I mean, it looks solid. What I know you might be limited on gear, but what I try to do in this case is you got commander attack, and you're already gonna get another. So you're getting 20, so 222. But then from the command, you're getting a little bit more. What I potentially try to do, and you probably know this, but I'm just putting it out there for people that are watching. I try to get some more commander unit defense. So yeah, change these two things to unit defense if you can. Higher on the unit defense. You want to make him a little bit tanky because he's gonna have enough attack to do what you need. So. But look, considering the respect difference in the gear, he's almost doing the same damage as freaking Z10 Elmer. So huge report here for you, man. That's what I tweaked though. You want some more defense. If you're fighting formations like these, where it's mostly physical damage, increase this defense here. You're basically soaking up all the damage from this. Because you got basically no defense. So if you can. If you can't, you're already doing great. 168 commander defense. I'm not sure. I'm not sold on that yet. I'm not sold on this. Send some more reports when you can. It does look good. I like that you basically lost very little HP, but then so did your other commanders that have a lot less commander defense. So, not convinced that the commander defense is really doing you any good, considering that your units are still alive. So what I do is try to get some unit defense. But this is great. This is a great result. Look at this. This guy is mixing. It's kind of even unfair to compare these two. Look at the respect difference. And look, I've been in this place before, so I know how it is to have a huge, in terms of respect, a huge team basically drawing the same, because you have to consider that he only has 6290 here, right, in his army, and he has 6840. So if I add 600 to this, I have about 2,600 of supply left, and him 2,800. It's a huge win for you, Corleone. Huge win for you. Of course, you're using the difference in the unit, right? You're countering the small units, which is great. But that's what you gotta do. That's the kind of stuff you gotta do. You gotta play to your advantages. Look, extremely good, man. Kudos to you. Huge. I think you're doing good on this build. I like it. But like I said, I try to change it up, adding some unit defense if I can. All right. Whew. C1. Ooh, Kyle has refined his... Ooh, look at that. Defense command. That's what you want. Fence shall be the mascot. All right, cool. Oh, got another DM. Let's see what it is. Who's yelling at me at this time? I want my answer by the end of the season. Pan, you gotta give me small hints here and there. I'm never gonna find out if you don't. It's not Turgon. It's not Cleona. It's not Vessi. It's not Jax. It's not Sam or Terror. I don't know. You gotta give me some hints here or there, or else there's nothing I can do. I'm sorry. I'm gonna lose my mind trying to find out. I usually run a tank unit, but there's still much to develop. Didn't consider it would affect so much. Yes, but it most likely will. Get the gender first. Oh, it's not Robin. Robin has a bunch of accounts already. And I write asking if it was Robin. Robin? I don't think it could be Robin, I guess. I know it's you. Just gotta find out which one. If you ran only one damage dealer, Undyne is a good option as a damage dealer as well. But with 2 DPS, Undyne makes no sense. As a damage dealer, better option. Tanky. Yeah, that is a good. That's one. That was the point that I was making earlier. He's not gonna be your primary damage dealer. But if one of the other two fails, he could be the backup, potentially. Like I said, it has to be tested. It might fail miserably, but until some people started testing other things, you guys never knew they worked, Never knew they worked. So you gotta make the test. Somebody's gonna have to do it. So it might as well be us. Let's see. But that's a good point too. You could run a very strong damage dealer like Dane or Bjorn, who can do 180, 100,000 by themselves, right? And you can run Undyne as your second damage dealer to do that 70, 80, and then run 2 other supports that could keep you alive a lot longer. It might not be a bad idea to try that. The likes of Dane, I don't know Saruman, but the likes of Dane and Bjorn, they can do they can do very, very high damage on their own. So that could be an interesting test. Undying, Gandalf the Grey, and then Galadriel. What's up, Merv? What's up, Noxie? That is a good theory. Or Sauron, Undying, Gandalf the White, and Daenor Bjorn. That could be a fun build, guys. Yeah, Undying as the damage dealer. Undying, Kirun, Galadriel, and Shadow. Could work. Could work. I don't know. A lot of theories there. You guys got my head now spinning a little bit. What's the fight zone look like? On our end. Yes, I did, Noxie. I will be posting that video. Looks good. Our fight zone, there is no fight zone for us in Erebor or Gondor. You got these guys here duking it out. Look how many pins. Gods on top of this one. Step below. You got gods at the top of this one. Step and weak. Toby and Merc. Toby and Merc over here. The big one is over here. Toby and Merc. 7.2, 7.4. You know, as you can see, a lot of people are still taking keeps and stuff. So the fight's not fully developed yet. But yeah, that's where the fighting is really happening right now. Bit of backs and forwards. Again, forwards. Yep. Porky, man, I heard you. You're not playing anymore. What's going on, man? Are you completely out though? You're not back anymore ever? That sucks, man, honestly. Whatever makes you happy, but definitely gonna be miss having you around for sure. We're 3,000 in front, and we are 36 behind Eyes Grim. Yeah, boy. I'm putting respect to mythic support and tank commanders. Someone told me that you can find good gold damage dealers, but not good support and tank commanders. Do you agree? You have one really good, you have one really good tank, which is Frodo, and you have a good support, which is Gandalf. On the good side, evil, not a lot. I don't think there's a viable option of a support tank on the evil side as a T2. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think so. So yes, it's easier to find damage dealers that work on legendary. Although I'm not sure how much damage you can expect from something like, Slurts and Shadow together, or Shadow and Gimli. Although they're good, it might not be as good as as a Bjorn or a Saruman, for example. But yes. Gothmog is not a good support or tank. His skills are more based on troop damage, and so unless you're building a troop damage comp, this wouldn't really work. He has damage increase here on units, right? You have damage increase here on units. You got a damage skill from him here, and you got stat boost from the bottom here. So I wouldn't use him. Good side if you're NRP. Good side has good options for support tanks. I'm debating on R10 Gimli with Relic or R4 Dane because of this. Between those two, that way, Dane probably still takes the cake. Yeah, he used to have that skill minus attack and plus focus. It's gone now. Yeah, it doesn't work. I wouldn't. That's if you're gonna have to choose between mythics and legendaries in NRP. Damn, yeah. I mean, you could even go Frodo and use him as your tank and then have somebody else as your support in mythic, and then one legendary damage like Shadow and a mythic damage dealer. Maybe you can do one of those two things, or then go Shadow and Frodo, for example, and then Dane or Bjorn and Gandalf the White, something like that. You can do a lot of mixing. You can do Undyne, you can do Sauron. There's a lot of commanders you can switch to fit your respect levels, right? And in your play style, what you want to do. Ramiro, Witch King, better than everybody. Well, let's see some reports. Let's see. I'm trying. This is my old one. Here. You got me Freya. Jeez. Look at this. Z12 fully refined relic. Z10. Z10. And R10. It's R, it's 10. It's just missing the things on the side here. This is the kind of stuff, if a lot of RNG plays a big role, having really, really high Zs doesn't really do you crazy good. I mean, it's good for early PvP for sure, but look at the difference in size. And this guy did extremely well considering the amount of money required, the difference here. So 70k HP. Gotta give me some of those levels. Somebody maining. Somebody maining Skellhelm here. Wow. No tank, huh? One, they equaled here. They almost equaled here. I mean, in terms of damage, yeah, in terms of damage is almost equal. The issue is the Undying healed. He survived a little bit more. But then these guys are cheaper, probably. But also have less HP than Guardians. Yep. There you go. Survived a little bit more because of that. Yeah, the cost of this fight is pretty even, I'd say. Yeah, running Gimli is always a challenge. Yeah, I mean the guy is not fully refined, sub 200 attack. Made it up with that, but then you don't have the extra damage from Warcry or Might or something that you want to run. Perseverance. That one hurt him a little bit there. Not bad though. I mean, Sharp Blade is what it is. Maybe you don't always got the right set effects, so gotta do what you got. Yumi's not a goddess. Yes. mean, Senko. Senko is running for Ramiro over here. Where is Senko? Running his nasty Z10 Witch King. Where is it? Oh man, I don't have the report from him anymore. Let's go down. Maybe it's down here. I was looking at the wrong place. Nothing there. Yeah, I guess it did because it was from before, from the 20th. Okay, yeah, right here, actually. Senko running his Z11 Sauron with his Z3 Dang, fully refined Z1 and his Z10 Witch King Beauty over here with 681 command. Whew. 87,000 damage. Not bad, huh? One damage. Look at that. One damage dealer only versus two damage dealers. Of course, size difference. You got to have this, you know, compared to bigger accounts. But 87,000. Not bad, huh? I would not call that a bad one. I think there was other reports from Senko, isn't there? Let's see if we find one more. Just one more, guys. Ooh, Zuzu. Ooh, Z5. Nope, we might not have any Senko left. Just that one. Sadly, that's the one. All right, guys, look, I promise daily streams. Not a whole lot to go off today. Like I said, I'm fully maxed out on resources, on what I can do. I had to take 2 9s because there's just no more level 10s to take. There's just nothing. And I'm not going to go all the way over here. I'm not going to waste 10 AP to get over here to farm. I'll take 2 9s. And the next 10 that open in a little bit, we're going to likely be hit in one of the passes anyway. So I'm going to need them for tiling and things like that. So might not even take anything. But we're still doing good, you know. We're closing in third place here behind Ice Grim. And we're still top in the fellowship. We're still highest affluence in the fellowship. Although we didn't farm the areas that everybody was going for. We did our own little thing. Finally got Shadow's relic. Need to strengthen it. Okay. Gotta change this gear to... Most likely I'll run some war cry on him. Then gotta change the effects on the gear, but running something like that, but raising the focus because as Z4, you know, we can basically do all of this. Likely to get 5 out of 10 and then a little bit of damage here. Should fit us pretty well. And got Azog to Z5. He was Z4 previously. And Helm is now Z2. Yeah, boy, Z2. Guar here's taking a back seat for now. Black Serpent and both Black Serpent and Kieran are R11. They were R10 at the end of last season. Let's see what else. Oh, Saruman is finally, but wasn't finally. He was, you know, we were getting close, very close to Z11. I think yesterday. Now he's at Z11, and that's where we sit. All right, I'm gonna end the stream right now so I can get some rest and get ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow we might have some awesome updates for you guys. Fear the Saruman. That is the new meta. He is incredibly powerful, and I'll be testing a full focus Saruman this season. Not yet, but he will be above 300 of focus, low command, but we'll see what we can do with that. All right, guys, appreciate everybody. Ramiro, Freya, Logic, got Porky still here, Captain, Jimmy, who else? Murph, Dalbo, Livian, whoever else is still in the chat. We got 40 people here. I appreciate all you guys for being with me. Maybe Angus is still here. You guys have a great evening. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. I'm gonna try to to stream a little bit earlier for you guys to be able to stay a little bit longer without killing your night in your sleep clock. All right, take care, and I shall see you guys tomorrow.